good to speak with you. Where are you right now as we speak in Canada or around the world?
Right now I'm in Toronto for the week, but I'm usually in Montreal.
Oh, then I have to apologize for the rain that's going on outside right now.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we've had some of the craziest weather just a couple of days ago. Like we had like a big windstorm. I don't know if you've noticed it walking around, but if you see any trees down, or hopefully they cleaned it up, like it was
Oh God.
really, really bad. It's been like either it's been really hot, sunny, cold, windstorms. I don't know. I just hope you're going to be okay here. We're so glad to have you here in Toronto.
Thank you. I mean, it hasn't been that bad. I feel like this is definitely the worst day I've been here, but
Mhm.
it's okay. I have faith. A sunshine will come through today.
There you go. If there's anything else that you have faith with, is your talent and your music. Congratulations on the new single that we're going to have a chance to talk about and the
Thank
video
you.
because, wow, video is
Thank
raw.
you.
It goes right to the core on
Yeah.
relationships. And really, the one thing that stuck out of my head was, and we'll talk about this later on, but the one thing that stuck out of my head was, man, it's always rough when you're having problems with somebody, but you live with them and you
Oh
have to
yeah.
exist. And this video so represents that. But I don't want to go in too much. Don't want to go
Thank
into
you.
much of that
Okay.
just
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
do want to talk about you and your music career and all the great things. But I do have to ask you first, how have you been dealing with, as I like to call the new world, with COVID happening with us for the last 2.5 years and so many things that we witnessed and still witnessing now too. It's different.
Yeah, it is definitely different. I feel like my career started on Zoom. Like I didn't meet anyone. It was the weirdest way to start. But thankfully, last year things opened up more, and I was able to go to my first real life sessions with people, like meet people, and being able to like bond and write. So it's been interesting, but it's been fun. It's been a really beautiful journey to like learn in these circumstances. Sorry, I can't English this morning. I'm French. I as if
You're
you
doing a
hear
great
like
job.
a French, if you hear a little French word popping through, that's why.
That's
But yeah,
that's okay. Absolutely. Look, my French is un, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept, huit, neuf, dix. French toast,
that's
French fries,
beautiful.
and that's it.
That's all you need to know. But
That's it.
I don't know if it happens to other people who speak multiple languages. Like some days your brain is just not. Your brain is just like, no, choose one, pick up one, leave us alone. Today's one of those days. But
No,
to
your
go
brain
back,
is perfect.
thank you, thank you. But yeah, it's been a really challenging but beautiful journey, and I'm really grateful for like everyone I've met, all the things I've learned, and yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
Now I'm just curious when you were talking about Zoom.
Yeah,
What was going on with your career before the pandemic happened? Were things supposed to start sort of coming together, and then the pandemic
yeah.
hit, and we couldn't be together?
Yeah, like the thing though with music in me is like I've never planned to be a musician. Like it was a random blessing that fell into my lap that I've always wrote songs. I've always been really keen to music and like singers and everything, but it never in a billion year would I've imagined I would be able to do it. So I was making music, but it was never like, oh, this is gonna be my career. I'm gonna be able to like, make something real out of this. And I feel like when COVID hit and everything locked down, it was really when I was like, oh my God, this is like the only thing I love. This is what I want to do. And like I put all my focus on it. And I was really blessed with a bunch of like good things coming my way. But yeah, COVID was like a blessing and a curse, which a curse most of it. But it gave us time to think and really like figure out what we want in life. I feel like it was like a collective break for everyone. So yeah.
When we talk about your career, basically being introduced through Zoom and during COVID, how did you adapt career wise? Because I know a lot of artists either did performances on
Yeah.
social media and things like that. A lot of them when they were recording music, everything was done on Zoom.
Yeah.
They would send tracks back and forth and whatever they were using. And a lot of people, which I think is great because I've asked them a lot, almost everybody I know during this time their closet is now their sound booth because they had to basically
Yeah.
build studios at home. What were you doing?
I was doing just that. But on my bed, I wasn't as motivated to turn my closet into a studio. But I was on my bed recording for a year on Zoom with people from all over the world, which was really funny because I would meet these amazing people on Zoom and be like, "Oh my God, this person did this," and I don't know. It was just like a very funny thing to me, and I was on my bed, so nothing felt real. It was just like, "Oh my God, like I'm meeting these people. They're seeing me in my bed." Most of the times in pajamas. So I was like, oh, well, it doesn't feel real at all. Now it feels more real. Now I
Yeah.
get to shake hands and be like, yo, I'm Lara. So I don't know. It feels way better, but interesting times.
Did your perspective and how you wrote, and not just how, I should say your stories, did that
Mm.
change? Because again, we were all sort of one type of people beforehand. All these things happened, and I know a lot of artists were starting to write songs differently than say they would before. Did the same thing happen with you?
Yeah, 100%. I started journaling way more and like just writing my thoughts in a more descriptive way. So that really helped my process of writing. And also we went through it. Like it was really hard and depressing to be home all the time in your head and just figuring it out by yourself. So it definitely changed the subjects and the way I wrote for sure.
Now, you were mentioning before about languages. How many languages can you speak?
I speak technically four. Um, it's just like I speak two dialects in Arab,
Hmm.
French, and English.
Which one is your favorite one to speak?
Honestly, I even when I speak French, I still like say an English sentence when it like I my brain is really bilingual, like it's bilingual in there. So I don't know. I feel like French, but like when I'm angry, Arab. It's just like a good angry. When I'm
Okay,
angry, like ah.
okay, so I got to make sure that when you start speaking me in Arabic, I'm in
Yeah, yeah,
trouble.
yeah.
So yeah,
You're in
so
trouble.
I don't want to go there at all. I think that's
No.
amazing. I can only speak one language, which is English, and I'm not even great at that.
And you do it well. No, you're doing it perfectly.
Thank you. Uh, but you kind of talked about this wasn't what you wanted to do. It just sort of fell in your lap. How did
Yeah.
it? How did that happen? I mean, what were you thinking beforehand? What did you want to do beforehand? And how did it actually become? Hey, this is the career that I want.
Yeah. I feel like it takes a lot of confidence to be like, yo, I want to be a musician. It's like a crazy thing. I For me, it took me a really long time to be like, oh, I could do this. Like, I can sing a little and I know how to write a song. So it took me a while to be like, okay, this is what I want to do. I
Mhm.
did not have this when I was younger. I feel like it takes a lot of courage and like confidence to do these things and be like, yo, I'm a great musician. Here's my song and like put yourself out there. It's a really scary thing, but I've always liked music and sound. So I studied music production and sound design, and I really wanted to make sound for video games, like the little gun sounds, whatever, and like music team for like these games that I really love. That was like more of the path that I wanted to go. But when I finished school, I figured I had a really hard time finding jobs because it's like these huge companies that have like three men like doing and then would show up and be like hi just freshly early 20s being like yeah I want to do that. So it was like a little challenging, but I still really love it. I still really want to do it as well. I'm just like exploring this new thing that I am, which I really love. It's just like still a crazy thing to me how you wake up one and you're like, I want to make songs. It's like a crazy thing. And it took me a while. And I'm really happy, but no.
No, not only just that, you got signed by one of the biggest, companies in Canada and around the world. How did that come about?
That came about on Zoom and I thought it was a joke. I like kind of ignored it at first because I was like, no way. But I don't know. I met with someone um who really liked breakup tutorial and I was like, really? Because like I made this song on my friend's couch just screaming on it and making this hourly story of a breakup, which for me was like a really cool song, but I never thought it would like reach that many people. But yeah, breakup tutorial, man. Break my heart and I monetize it. That's my new way of life. you have to do something with these breakups, man. You just have to like, you want to break my heart. I need to do something out of it. I can't cry for free. But yeah, that's the way I live now. I'm really grateful when people hurt me. I'm like, yes, songs. But yeah, breakup tutorial changed my life.
It's amazing too because I think again, and I keep talking about the pandemic. A lot of us were going through that. I mean,
Oh
we were
yeah,
going through a lot of breakups. It's funny because you think that okay, we gotta, it's just you and me or whoever else close together, and then you start to
yeah,
realize this isn't what I want, and a lot of people broke up with that. Do you think your
yeah.
music helped people to sort of mend fences, get their emotions out, and be able to even move on?
I definitely hope so. I mean, I hope it like at least makes you realize that you're not the only one going through it. Like with Scissors, it's like an ending of a chapter, but I hope people see that it's a new one as well. Like it's a new chapter that starts after a really bad one, and it's okay. So if people can take that out of it, I would be really happy. But yeah, it's really normal to have all these really sad and bad emotions. We just need to figure out a way to let them out in a good, healthy way.
Well, you already mentioned the name of the song, but I always like to make this part of the interview, I call it the official part. So I'm going
Oh,
to go
okay,
back to
okay.
that and I'm going to ask you again, what is the name of this new single and video that you have? And
Yeah.
what is its origins? Where did this come
Yes.
from?
So I have a new song out called Scissors, and it is about a really hard breakup. Kind of me losing my home that I've had for a while and having to um be a young adult again on my own and figuring it out. It's a relationship I started when I was a teenager, so it's like a weird one when you get to be like a young adult and finally like you're alone for the first time and you have to really get to know yourself. So it was a really special song and it was a really special project just because it was like me finally realizing it was an end of an era in my life and a new one beginning and getting to know myself and making things that makes me happy. So yeah, that's Scissors.
Who came up with the idea for the music video? And can you talk about the video too? Because we mentioned it in the beginning of the interview. I thought was so perfect because I remember back in the day going through the same thing when I lived with somebody and watching your video. I thought, oh man, I was reflecting right back on what I was
Yeah,
going through.
cool. Um, um, so yeah, like I said before, like this concept of having to leave home and like just like any place that feels really comfortable, even though it's not always the greatest, was really a concept that I wanted to like show. Um, I wrote like a 5 chapter story on like grief, on like because it is kind of a grief because you're losing someone in your life, even though they didn't pass on, but you are losing this person in a way, and like everything's changing. So it is grieving a situation. So I just wanted to show that there were good moments and bad moments, but at the end of the day, it was like I left this. It was my decision, and I think it was the best decision I've made. And yeah, I feel like I really wanted to show that like home like situation, and also like me just getting stronger and bloodier, but like just showing in a weird aesthetic way that I was just getting stronger as I was leaving this situation. Yeah.
I like what you just said because there were two things that really stuck out for me, and I want to give too much away on the video too. Was one where, and I think they sort of mesh together. I guess it's the kitchen area where you and, well, I should say your character and the mate are first talking very nicely, and within seconds there's the
It's
arguing that
good.
happens.
Yeah.
And also your character and how your character, in I guess in trying to hold on to a relationship, she looks and acts and feels and shows of an aura one way, but
Yeah.
then when we see the other part of the character, she looks completely different and showing
Yeah.
a different aura. Was that your imagination showing? It's like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
Honestly, this I don't get credit to. My director's name is Gerardo. I worked with him on this. So I came up with the idea with him, and he put it together. He took my words and made turned it into art. So he really had a vision on this, and he really understood like my feelings and the songs. So he really wanted to the viewer to like notice these little changes. And yeah, I think we really did a good job. I did my own makeup, and I feel like we killed it. We killed the vibes. Yeah, he's amazing, Gerardo.
What was it like to see yourself that way? Watching the
I
video and
hated it.
watch really.
I I I don't know. I think we did it, I felt uncomfortable, but I think that's exactly what we wanted because it's an uncomfortable state. It's a very raw video. Like I'm crying, I'm screaming, I'm bleeding. Like it's a lot of things and I'm like obviously I'm I am confident to a certain point. So it's crazy to see yourself in this vulnerable state and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm like sharing this with the whole world, but I'm really proud of it. Yeah, I feel like this little uncomfortable moment, like feeling I really wanted the people to have because it is an awkward thing. You don't want to see people fighting and like it hurts. Like it's weird to see. But yeah, it's real life and it's normal and it doesn't always have to end up in a really dramatic, bleedy way, but it sucks to have this person that you love so much and like arguing all the time and not being able to like move on past that state of fighting.
No, I think we've all been through it. I think you've done an amazing job artistically
Thank
in
you.
presenting that, and lyrically and musically too. Speaking of musically, does that mean we're gonna get more music in the future? Are we looking at an EP or an
Yes,
album?
yes, I am working on it. The producer I worked with, his name is Derek, and we went hard. We wrote a lot of beautiful songs, and I'm really lucky to come in Toronto once in a while and just meet these amazing, amazing, amazing producers. We're really spoiled out here. We have these writers and producer and like just beautiful scene in Toronto that I love so much. And I've made a lot of songs that I'm truly proud of. And this song is not only like the beginning of a new era, like emotionally, I feel like musically as well. I really lean more towards that indie rock sound that I love so much and so familiar and easy for me to create. So yeah, I'm working on it really
What
hard and I'm really excited.
What about shows? Are we gonna be able to see any shows from you?
I do have a few little shows coming out. There's one in Toronto in Vaughan, June 25th for Pride. I'm going to be performing with a bunch of amazing people. Estelle, which I can't, I can't, I can't believe Estelle. I can't. But yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh man, break out the foam. It's going to be a blast and all the lights and everything else.
Oh, I can't
It's
wait.
going to be so much fun. So glad you're coming back for such a great event, too. Before we
Yeah.
wrap this up, for folks who are going through a breakup right now, or, not even sure if the relationship is going to move forward, what advice can you give them? Because I can almost guarantee you when they see your video, it's going to be man in the mirror. They're going to be seeing what they're
Yeah.
going through.
Yeah. Just remind yourself that a home isn't home if you don't feel good in it. Even
I love
though
that.
you have to love yourself first always. And it's a really hard thing to do and comprehend. I feel like it took me a while, but if you're not comfortable or 100% happy, it's never going to be a home. And you want a home. You deserve a home. So, yeah.
That is a home should feel like a home. I need to put that somewhere. That is powerful. I love that. Laura, thank you so much for speaking with me.
You're
Congratulations on the music
welcome.
and the career. So glad that
Thank
you're going to be
you.
coming back to Toronto. Hopefully that we can do this again real soon. And
Thank you so
again,
much.
all the best in the future. I know it's definitely going to be bright for you. Congrats.
Thank you so much. It was really fun.